Well, hey, folks, welcome to the More Summer 2020 Adventures Day 44. And it is, August the 8th. I always forget. August the 8th, 2020. Okay. Uh, had a very enjoyable day, an eventful day. Um, and things like that happen when you lose signal on your GPS phone. Okay. But we made it back. It was fun. They got up regular time, took it, maybe a little slow getting up, but we got up regular time uh, and got on the road down to Jacksonville. All right. It was a good ride down there. I saw a lot of good things, and all of that. Some pretty land, pretty pastures, and some vineyards and all that. And then got into Jacksonville. Very historic town, rich, really rich in history. Um, but we were led to believe that they have like wooden sidewalks and all that. They don't. But all the storefronts have been restored back to like they were back in the 40s and 30s. I mean, it was a neat time. We had a good time down there. Had some ice cream that was okay. All right. Didn't have coconut. Had it listed, but then he said, no, I'm out. But had some huckleberry. I think the huckleberry ice cream that we had in Tombstone was better than this. Okay. But it was still good. Just okay, you know. Went to a little cafe that was and had an outside lunch. Sandwiches were good. My wife had a sandwich and soup, and she enjoyed that. So, hey, that's all good too. I'm trying to get out of the sun, folks. It's reflecting off of the RV across the way. The sun's actually setting over that direction, but it's reflecting off of the RV this direction, and it's coming right back this way. All right, so trying to get out of it. But we had a good time, and I did find a regular t-shirt that says Oregon. All right, and of all places, it was right at the shop in front of where we parked. Pulling into town there, I saw this parallel parking. The last spot was open. I took it. The last spot meaning actually the front spot. So when I pulled out, there was nobody in front of me because it was a stop sign. All right. And right to the passenger side of this little shop was the shirt. Actually, it was actually in the window. Okay. So that's the one I want. And that's the one I got. Okay. It was the only shop in all of Jacksonville that had any t-shirts that we saw too. Looked for some postcards, couldn't find any of those. But it was a good little town. Like I say, rich in history. I took a lot of pictures. I don't know. Normally I count how many pictures was taken before I start the video, and I didn't do that. But it was a good visit. The wife and I both enjoyed ourselves. It was cool enough shade that she didn't get overheated walking around there. Although it was probably in its mid 80s, but it was still a good day. I mean, we had a good time. Coming back, lost signal, took a left, should have took a right, and ended up almost at the top of the mountain before we got on this road that we said, no, this is not the way home. So I came back, went back to a gas station that we had passed about 6 miles down the road, and I said, all right. She said, can I help you, sir? I said, oh yeah, please. I said, help a tourist out. How do you get to Grants Pass? She just laughed. I said, my GPS lost its signal a long time ago. And she goes, you ain't the only one. Go down here, went to the T, take a left, go to the stop sign, go straight. I said, all right. So we got in. And when we got into Grants Pass, I don't know what was going on, but on that section of town, which is where Henderson's is, and we're getting, we had the work done, no power. We were going to go into Safeways to get some things. They were closed because of no power. The street lights were out. Not even flashing, they were out. All right. But I will say something about this for the drivers around here, whether they were local or not. They had enough common sense to consider it as a stop sign. Wait on that person that got there before you and let them go, and then, take your turn, around and around and around. We went through 3 intersections that way, and everybody was polite, courteous, yield, yielding to the other driver and everything, just the way things should be. So, and we got about halfway home and got a phone call from another RV friend that we've met online, and he had messaged me yesterday about maybe being able to meet, because he lives in Medford, which is maybe 50 miles from here. He wanted to meet us, and he's a new RVer, and he has a different RV than what we do. I mean, it's a Class C, but it has a different one. He sit here and swap stories and find out, both of our dads were ministers. He's retired Air Force, I'm retired Marine Corps. Both of us retired from the military and went into education, and now both of us retired and got Class C's. And, both of our wives don't want to go full time. They want to hang on to that brick and mortar, all kinds of things that was coincidental, that was the same as each other. Good visit. So, Donald Ritchie, it was nice meeting you today, and I hope our paths cross again, because it was a joy to meet with you today. And that's that's kind of the way things with RVing looks like. That's what it's all about. Is making new friends and creating new adventures. And we've got some friends that we met last August up in Minot that we ended up joining their RV association, International Campers Club, ICC, and we're supposed to have a rally this year in June, or July, but with COVID, everything else, so maybe next year. But and we keep in touch with them now. We've met some other people that we keep in touch with that we've met through RVing, so it's a big family, and really enjoyable. Like I said, we had a good time today. Got back here at a decent time. The sun is setting, but it's still another hour and a half, 2 hours before it gets dark. It's almost 7 o'clock here in Pacific time, and nice, light breeze. Just things are really good here, really good. And like I said, we had a good trip. Saw a lot of countryside. We did stop at a vineyard on the way back before we got lost. And they were very, very cordial. They helped us out all they could, but she said, "Oh, I didn't realize that's what you wanted." I said, "Look, no, we're not here to taste. We're not here to taste anything. We're not partakers, but we had just had some questions on, how do you make the wine? How do you grow the grapes? What's done here?" And she couldn't answer any of that because she wasn't on that end of the operation. So we didn't go to any others. We thought, well, it's probably all the same. The real people that know are probably out in the field or over in the winery or whatever. But she explained that we use different grapes for the different wines. And we have this in here, this one here, this one here. And she was naming off all these different kinds of grapes and different kinds of red wines and Chardonnays and something else and something else. And okay, whatever you say, lady. But it was fun. It was unique. It was different. I did enjoy seeing the vineyards. We didn't go out and walk in them, but just from the road in the Straits. And something else that I've been aiming to talk about since we got here, actually since Sunday, because I noticed it coming in when we got into Oregon. I did notice it when we left Winnemucca and came through the southern part of Oregon into Utah, but it didn't really register until just a couple days ago. Like in many states, when you go from one county to another, it says entering certain county or welcome to whatever county. Like back home it'd be, welcome to Carteret County or welcome to Craven County. Here they have the county name, like, Josephine County, or where we were today, Jackson County. All the signs that we have seen so far in the entire state of Oregon that we have traveled so far, below the county sign is another sign across the bottom. We honor veterans. I think that's just an outstanding thing. Okay. Obviously, I'm biased because I'm a veteran. Okay, as some of you may know, 22 years in the Corps. Okay, but I just think it's really neat that each county sign has that under their county sign as "We Honor Veterans." I think it's really cool, really cool. But like I say, when we got back, about halfway home, you know, uh, Donald called, and so I told him where we were, so he wanted to come on up here and meet us. So we met him. We had a good hour or so visit with him. It was really, really pleasurable. And the trip, like I say, even though we didn't follow the regular road, okay, Highway 234 or 238 or 99, we went on some side roads. We saw some country that we hadn't seen, and it was, went to Williams. We were in the Applegate Valley, coming out of Jackson. We cross over the Applegate River. All right, Chrissy tried to get a picture, but there was cars behind me, so I couldn't really go slow. I had to do the speed limit, and she wasn't able to get a picture of the sign and then switch around and get a picture of the river either. But up the road, then we pulled over and she got some pictures. And in some areas, it wasn't very wide. I don't know how big the Applegate River actually is, but we were in the Applegate Valley for the majority of the day, and it was pretty. I mean, not just with the vineyards, but also hay farms and cattle farms, and a couple of horse ranches. It was. I keep talking about how pretty Oregon is in this area of Oregon, and it is. And I'll remind you, no, I'm not moving to Oregon. Okay, as pretty as it is, I'm not moving to Oregon. And that was funny about the visit today with Donald. Many of the places that we had been, both of us had been there to different times and whatnot. Talking about Nevada, talking about Arizona, talking about Colorado, and of course here, a lot of areas that even in Northern California where I used to live, my 8th grade and freshman year. It's just been a good day, folks. It really, really has. And I know this video is already up to 12 and a half minutes, so let me go ahead and I can't really talk enough about how good the day was. It's just, but today's scripture, and I myself have to be guard on this. James 1:14. But each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and enticed. And of course, the short version is temptation comes from our own desires, which are to entice and drag us away. James 1:14. And many times, in our Christian walk, we have to ask. We have to seek protection, to seek guidance, to seek, drawing closer to Him is an ongoing thing. And if we start to thinking about things that we used to do, because I'll tell you, I got some skeletons and some issues in my history that I'm glad that they're buried at the bottom of the sea. Unfortunately, I keep remembering them. God's already forgiven me and forgot about them. Okay, but you get enticed about things that you used to do and say, oh, I remember that, and oh, I can do that, and now that won't hurt to do that. And each one of those things is drawing you further away. So guard yourself. Don't be tempted in your own desires of the past, and don't let it entice you away from our purpose, and that is a spiritual relationship with Christ. Worshiping Him. All right. Draw closer. Draw closer to Him. The closer you are drawn to Him, and the closer you desire to get to Him, in one way, the desires of old are going to be harder to pull you away from Him because you are focused on Him. In another way, the forces of evil are going to work harder to pull you away and to entice you away and say, well, it won't hurt to do that. It won't hurt, just one time, just this time, just that time. No. Don't be fooled by that game of deceit, okay? Because He is the master of deceit. God is the master. Christ is the master of truth, okay? Hey, y'all be blessed. We're going to be going to church tomorrow with some new folks that we haven't met before, but it's still the family of God, okay? Y'all be blessed. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow.